Hello, American Idol fans, and welcome to our pre-finale slugfest for season 18. We're going to be talking about who we think will win and just the season overall. The season that was cut short by the coronavirus pandemic, and everyone's been performing remotely from their homes, and the judges have been giving their critiques from their homes. It's all been very interesting. My name is Marcus James Dixon, and I'm here with Denton, Davidson, Susan Wloszczyna. So, Denton, I'm going to start with you first. Who do you think is going to win American Idol season 18?
I think the season 18 winner will be Arthur Gunn. I'm picking him just based on the season as a whole. I think he was the first artist that really just went viral and exploded in a big way. His voice is easily identifiable. Lionel points that out every time he performs. And as I'm doing sort of the research for some of the articles that I write about American Idol, I look at the trends in the social media. Arthur's performances in terms of views on like YouTube and social media triple everybody else. I mean, his stuff goes viral every time he performs. So I think at this point, he's had such a great run this season, and I think the format of performing from home makes it harder for contestants to have a wow performance that sends them surging like they might need to later in the season. So I think just based on the season as a whole, I think he's going to remain the front runner and take the title.
But Susan, you disagree, right? You think someone else is winning.
Well, if you look at who won last year, Lane Hardy, I think the closest to him is Francisco. And he's just got that look, and he doesn't even know how good he is, and that's part of his charm. You know, he was very nervous when he first came on, but he's sort of settled in now. And I think, you know, the Disney songs are quite the test for a lot of these people because they're just, you know, the song already, so you got one strike against you for that. And I think he did one of the better ones with "You'll Be in My Heart," so that kind of counted too. And other ones just didn't. Even the best of it. I mean, Just Sam, I thought she just kind of lowballed it rather than, you know, really grabbed onto a dream, a wish, you know, made it her own kind of thing. Maybe it's harder from home to make it, you know, something more personal. So. But yeah, I don't know if I would buy his music, but I would look at him some more. So.
It's funny, in a normal season, one of the big storylines would be Francisco growing week to week and getting more comfortable on stage. We were kind of robbed of that this year. I do think Francisco is going to be in the final three, but I think you're both off track. I think the winner is Jonny West. This is clear want to win. But then again, they wanted Alejandro last year, and that didn't work. But Jonny West is the singer-songwriter type, the Randy Newman, the Elton John type, and he's just so comfortable behind that keyboard, and he's a pro already. I don't even know why he needed a show like this to become famous. Plus, Margie Mays would be the first lady of American Idol. She's one of my favorite contestants of all time.
I don't know if Katie, so I mean, it was pretty bold last week. Katie said that Jonny deserved to win. So to have a judge's endorsement like that is huge, but it could be a curse, and it could send the fans of everyone else scurrying like, Katie's wrong. So they might have proved something to her, because they did that with Alejandro last year, and it didn't work out for him.
Yeah. I don't know if this age group is still, you know, teenage girls under 18 or whatever are voting, but you know, I think I would vote for Jonny West, but I'm just saying Francisco seems to be the package they like. You know,
are we all underestimating Dillon James? I mean, this is another pro type guy, and he takes all of these songs and makes them his own. He has the backstory, you know, the sob story that people often have on American Idol. And he's just so dang good.
Yeah, I think when I watch them perform, to me he's the one that looks like the established artist, and the judges, when he made it through to the top 7, seemed surprised. I mean, they seem to constantly be underestimating him, but I think he always gives one of the top performances every week. I think maybe his performance of Yesterday by the Beatles was his weakest, but he still got through, and I think he was one of the strongest this last week. So I think he's definitely someone who could be the underdog that comes from behind that the judges don't see coming.
I like him a lot too. I mean, I like his voice. I like he puts something different even on a familiar song, but I'm sorry, that giant tattoo just creeps.
That's the thing. Post Malone has them all over his face. I mean, that's the thing these days.
Not where I come from.
So here's how the voting will work on Sunday. There's 7 people left. 2 of them will be eliminated in the first few minutes, and then the other 5 will each perform 2 songs, right, Susan?
Yeah, right. The top 5 do 2 each.
So who do we think will be the 2 that will be eliminated at the beginning of the finale? I know a lot of people are saying Louis Knight. Some people are saying Julia Gargano, gorgeous. Who are your picks to go home?
Them.
I mean, I think Julia for sure. I think I think this is a guy's season. It's this sort of singer-songwriter thing that they have going on. And I do think that Louis has sort of not been as exciting as some of the other contestants this season, and he hasn't really nailed the performance as well as some of the others. So those would be my 2, although Louis is a tough one. I don't know how the heartthrob thing's gonna affect my predictions.
Do you think he's really a heartthrob? No.
Well, not for me, but the judges keeps calling him. He's got that boy band thing. He's
One Direction. I don't know.
A horn comparison.
Yeah.
I think my issue with Louis is he's almost too humble, and I know he's not being fake. Like, I know that's just how he is, but I think, remember that guy Nick what's his name?
Mercurio?
Something like that.
Miracle.
Miracle.
I think Louis needs to take a little bit of his confidence, and I think that would make him just a stronger competitor. The whole thing, every time the judges say, "Oh, that was fantastic, Louis." "Oh, really? Oh my gosh, thank you." It's like, you know you're good.
It's like when Taylor Swift wins an award. She can't believe it, even though she's won 100 of them.
Right.
Yeah.
No, he's been the same since day one, though. He's never stepped up and really done anything different than what he sang with his original song to his friend. And that was probably as good as he got. And when he does interpretations, they don't really stand out. I mean, even Dillon and Arthur, they all kind of put their own little spin on it. But he's just who he's been the whole time. Maybe that's enough, but not for me. Mm-hmm. I have standards.
I think the closest comparison to Louis is Francisco, and I think Francisco's been doing a better job in singing and changing up the songs. So I think Francisco is delivering, and that's the guy that will take Louis out.
Yeah.
What about just Sam? Is she a top 3 contender? I think so. I think she's so unique and so different, and she does have that amazing backstory. And I love that, she stayed in Los Angeles. Everyone else went home, and she stayed here to try to make it. I love that.
No, she did it because of her granny. No, that's what she said on the air. She didn't want to make her sick. So
I think she's top 3, and I think she's also, probably unfortunately for her, the most affected negatively by the format that they're under. I think she would have been the one that exploded on stage and grew as a performer. I think she is not pushing her voice hard enough. I think she can go to another level, and like I'm just waiting for her to hit it all the time, and she just goes right to the edge and then she backs down. And so I think she's holding back a little bit. And I think her best performance was the Hawaii showcase of Como LaFleur. And she had that audience and she had that energy. And now that she's alone in an apartment somewhere hidden in Los Angeles, she's got this like sadness around her. And that was like endearing in the early stages as you get to know her. But it's just, I mean, she's become sort of depressing and sad to watch. So I hope for this finale performance, she does something fun and exciting and shows the performer that she is.
I think she has Jennifer Hudson potential in that throat. You just hear she could do so much more than she did with her Disney song and everything. It's just, I wanted, and maybe she used to sing in the subway too. She was one of those, and she wants an audience, and it just wasn't coming out. I think her potential is so great, but she's not really in circumstances, like you said, to really capitalize on it.
Well, let's hope Sam does better than Jennifer Hudson. Jennifer Hudson only made it to 7th place.
Well, okay, she went farther. But
she's
I think
one of the most successful post-Idol.
I know that.
I can't imagine that 5 male singer-songwriters will all get through and then Sam and Julia would be gone. I can't see that happening. And I think Sam has a much better chance than Julia.
I think she's got more of a stronger, she's been in our, like the items you write about her seem to do better on her site than, I don't think Julia really shows up very much. So.
Yeah, I also look at the traffic of the people we write about. Arthur Gunn gets a lot of clicks. Just Sam gets a lot of clicks. Johnny West. That could be a top 3.
How does Francisco do? Because he gets a lot of views. His Teenage Dream performance went viral.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I wrote something about him and it did well. So yeah.
Well, can we talk about Katy Perry for a second? I think she's just the MVP of the season. She's dressing up in all of these amazing, outlandish costumes, and I can't imagine what the show would be without her. They just renewed it for season 4. Katy Perry better come back next season.
I just can't imagine it without her. Luke and Lionel are fine for what they do, but Katy is really all of the energy at the judging panel, especially during the live shows. We need to see her in her Mrs. Jumbo suit or in a box of Purell. Without that, it would just be a little less interesting, especially with this stay-at-home order that they're all under.
Yeah. No, she's the spice.
Yeah. Well, can we talk about our favorite moments of the season? We're winding down. There's only one episode left. And my favorite performance, I think, without a doubt, was Arthur Gunn's. Have you ever seen The Rain in Hollywood Week? Because he'd already done the song in the audition, but then he completely changed it. He changed it so much that the band behind him couldn't even keep up. And I've watched that clip over and over. It's just so good. Denton, what was your favorite moment or moments?
Arthur's just auditioning and just becoming part of the show was interesting. I just love his backstory of where he came from and how he ended up in the middle of Kansas and into country and folk music. I just think that's a really cool story. And performance-wise, I really liked Just Sam in Hawaii, just because it was such a transformation from what we've seen of her singing sort of these ballads, and she just looked so vibrant and just the colorful performance. And that was probably my favorite performance that made me notice a big change in somebody.
And Susan?
Well, I really like Johnny West doing Wonderful World. It's a Wonderful World because that moved me, and it was the perfect song choice for that time when they were first doing the remotes. And the other one, I liked when Jovan Webb sang Whipping Post because it was the most real moment because he just poured all his soul into that. He never was quite as good as that time.
Yeah.
But he really impressed
Jovan Webb.
Yeah.
I wish he was the one where I was like, I knew he wasn't going to make it, but he was the one. If I bought one of these artists' music, Jovan Webb's that's the music I would listen to. So I was disappointed he didn't last longer. And he's another one I think was negatively affected by not having a audience.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I also love the audition for Jonny and Margie, where we kind of think it's a joke the whole time, and then they give her the ticket and she leaves, and then it's like, okay, well, the boyfriend, like, what's the boyfriend gonna do? And he just blew everyone away. It was a really good audition.
They had that rap riff, and it just was like, wow, you never thought that would come out of there.
I would say if Jonny wants to win, he needs to rap. Like he should throw that into one of his performances because it's a live vote. I mean, it's going to be all about like a wow factor and momentum. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works to a live vote for the finale. That's pretty intense. But if I were Jonny, I'd be writing some verses right now, getting ready for my moment.
I'm glad you mentioned that about the vote because we have an item on Gold Derby now. If you live on the West Coast, you need to follow American Idol on the app or on social media because by the time the show airs here, the winner will be crowned already. So if you want to vote for the winner, you have to go to the YouTube channel, American Idol, and you can watch the performances there. And so all the information is on Gold Derby if you want to know how to vote if you're on the West Coast. Because in the past, it's been live coast to coast, and they're not doing that this year.
I wonder who that'll hurt the most. Who has the most West Coast fans? I mean, that's probably not good for Francisco. He's a California boy with a huge fan base up in the Bay Area.
That's a good point, yeah. Well, okay, what are your guys' final thoughts before we wrap up here? I thought this season was really good. I really would have loved to see all these people perform on the stage week after week, and it's really a bummer that it's not. And I hope next season, whoever wins, whoever the runner-up is, whoever third place is, I want them to bring these people back next season and perform on like results shows so we can see them with an audience.
I'm just waiting to see what happens with We Are the World and all the past contestants, and Alejandro will be back. So we'll see.
Your favorite.
What verse does he get?
Yeah, I thought it was a good season. I thought they did, the best that they could with the hand they were adults. So I think it's been good to see everybody sort of move forward. And I do feel bad that they didn't get to sort of grow with the audience with them. Because even more so than other shows, they really do pluck people from obscurity on American Idol, and they continue to do that. It's fun to see them grow with that live audience, and I felt that was missing this year.
Don't they usually do a tour too with them?
I don't think they've done that in the past couple of seasons.
Oh, they dropped that after they moved to ABC.
Yeah. Well, thanks everyone for watching. Go make your predictions for the winner at goldderby.com. You still have a couple days to get your picks in. Thanks, everyone.